Served, our community went through some difficult times, and now our city once again faces challenges. Times have been tough and bad choices have been made. There are no shortage of naysayers and negative agendas. I've been here before. We were always able to rise to the challenge here in Tallahassee. Not everyone agreed with some of the decisions I made, yet in the end we all came together for what was best for our city. Through courage and teamwork, we not only overcame our obstacles, but were recognized as the best in the nation and as a model for other cities across America.
Tallahassee, Florida!
One thing is certain: Tallahassee's best days are yet to come. Together we'll rise to the challenge. We always do. My name is Scott Maddox. I'd appreciate your vote. This election, we have heard a lot of negative and untrue attacks. You deserve to hear from me on where I stand. I'm for attracting jobs. I'm for improving our airport in downtown. I'm against the governor's neglect of state employees. I'm against those who campaign on ethics but don't act ethically. And I'm against the talk radio extremists and their negative agenda. There's nothing wrong with Tallahassee that can't be fixed by what's right about Tallahassee. My name is Scott Maddox. I'd appreciate your vote.
And in the moment that we had an opportunity to expand housing to the most vulnerable in our community, our government decided to give $27 million to luxury stadium improvement.
We haven't even collected these funds yet.
The 32304 zip code, the poorest zip code in the state of Florida.
$20 million in sales tax money, $7 million in interest to borrow the money.
We looked at campaign contribution data for sitting city and county commissioners.
More than $20,000
donated to Daley's re-election campaign.
Seminole boosters.
The Leon County Democratic Executive Committee calling for those donations to be returned.
To suggest that they should not participate in the democratic process is voter suppression, and I seriously will never, ever support that.
It doesn't look good.
Can't even justify going to his low ethics.
Who encouraged FSU that this was going to be possible?
Blueprint's attorney argues the IMC does not need to comply with Sunshine Law.
I've been no IMC meeting.
So how do they make decisions? I mean, don't they talk? Do you read each other's minds?
There's no record of how decisions are being made.
I really want to make a motion to adjourn.
And they voted just to stop the meeting, and that was it. You start talking about you want to blow up the status quo, the way you blow it up is you replace people.
My name is Grow Tallahassee, and I'm the chairman of Grow Tallahassee Political Committee. I would like to thank each one of you for being here and supporting our mission tonight. I also would like to send out a special thanks to our host committee for supporting this fundraiser from the beginning. Now, as some of you know, that Grow Tallahassee was created by a small group of young professionals, Justin Yazmini being one, and a couple of others, coming together around 2018 and asking the simple question: why we had to really battle through things that are common sense, right? Over the course of the last 4 years, we became a little bit more organized group and getting together to advocate for economic development and overall economic vitality in the Tallahassee metro area. Now, when we say economic development, we are talking about a variety of things. I know there is a notion out there that our group is a development focus, but that's not the case. When we say the economy, we are focusing on investments across the board, entrepreneurship, startups, workforce development. So we are looking at it from a more holistic level. Now, to achieve our goal, we have created 2 organizations. One of them is an 501c4 advocacy educational group, and I got our board members here tonight, Audra and Arturo. They are leading the efforts to organize events, inviting guest speakers, engaging with the public, and educating them on the issues. Some of the things we discussed recently was our airport and the new developments surrounding our airport. We have invited guests from Domi Station, Jim Moran School of Entrepreneurship. We talked to young entrepreneurs. We invited folks to discuss growth and equity, making sure that we all grow together. We looked into even fun stuff like the cannabis industry and how does that work, the laws surrounding cannabis industry, right? So overall, we have an educational component. But we didn't stop there. We realized that talking about economic development and talking about growth is just not enough. What we had to do is we need to advocate for it. So in 2020, we set up our political committee to help and support candidates that align with our mission. And this mission is simple. Again, it's just economic vitality. From bartenders to lawyers, from accountants to PR professionals, we all depend on our local economy. So we are advocating to keep it alive. And if anything, we want to make it a little bit bigger. Because at the end of the day, county and city tax revenue also, overall revenue depends on our economic vitality. For us to sustain the operations of Leon County and city, we need economic vitality. So we set up our political committee to start selecting candidates and supporting candidates that are aligning with this mission. Tonight, our goal is to raise funds once again to help our candidates in this election cycle. I would like to thank 3 of candidates for being here tonight, and the others couldn't make it. They said hi, but some of them were out of town, and Mayor Daley had a recent injury, so he couldn't make it. But without further ado, I would like to start inviting them to the stage and have them give you a little bit of a background about themselves and a little speech. And we'll start with Commissioner Proctor from the seniority level, if you would like to. Yes.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Chair. This illustrious body of citizenry represents a lot in terms of this community's pillars. And I am honored tonight that you would consider it not robbery that I could be among the cluster of persons who support for election or to election. It's been a privilege over the last 26 years that this community has afforded me the privilege of serving as county commissioner and currently serving as chairman of our county board. It's been an interest. I was telling Dr. Gasbini earlier that the chairman has this little ring to it. I think he got more power. And I was telling Dr. Gasbini that if he had something medically, I'd appreciate him sharing it with me because I'm so powerless, I can't even keep the hair on the top of my head right now. And if I had some power, I'd try to hold on to the hair. That's just how much power I got. I can't even stop my own hair from receding. Dr. Gasbini, I still take a portion if you got something. Help me. I want you to know that you've heard my voice over the years, and I have, there's no one in this room can accuse me of ever taking the vote against development in this community. Steve Gasbini has heard me say time and again that it's because wherever development occurs in the middle of Lake Jackson, it's the thing that allows the men in District 1, which from Thorpe Street down to Oak Ridge Road and Woodville, everything in the center of this town, Frenchtown, Springfield, FSU, FAMU, Vaughn, South City, all the way down to Woodville, all the census tracts which register struggling people. When development occurs and trucks are moving, men have jobs, grass is being put out, when cement is being poured, when bricks are being laid, when shingles are put on houses. That's what allows the man who works with his hand to feed his family, to meet child support, and stay out of the building where I work, the courthouse. I want men out of the courthouse, and if they're there, that it not be based upon economic need that they could not work. So I support development because development is what supports a man's ability to earn a living. Those who are not PhD and all, but those who merely work with their hands, they need a job. And I need development to keep going because it's a sociological need, economic, but it's the sociology that drives my thought, and that's why I've been the development supporter over the years. May I make a pitch finally to say that as my father told me that when the rabbit got his tail caught in the lawnmower, he looked behind him and said, well, it won't be long now. And as I look behind my career after 26 years, look at my clock, look at my head, and I'm saying it won't be much longer downhill. So what I'd like to do with the remaining and balanced time is to have Woodville Highway. This home, this is not a high priority. It needs to occur because it is an emergency evacuation route. I desire to see the rest of Capital Circle from Crawfordville all the way back around to Highway 20, full-lane. It shouldn't stop there. It's right in front of the airport. And no major city has a bike path like we got a 2-lane road going to the airport. Only us. And we think we got something. And what we have are a lot of legislators who a few years ago, you remember, were frustrated when a couple commissioners said we need to put some speed bumps on the way to the airport. And people trying to catch the last plane out of Tallahassee, go to South Florida. And the county commission was like, let's put some speed bumps out there. So we're going to hold all of our funding for this community unless we got those speed bumps up. I am suggesting that we need a little more speed, real safety to widen. That money is there. I need your push to make it occur. We need to look at Tram Road. It's the connector from Southwood. It's a straight line to Monroe, downtown, and that property that's barren on both sides, south and north, Tram Road, it needs to be looked at. And then you've heard the Spring Hill Road argument, gateway. We need a gateway, but you don't have to have a bowed down head, shame to bring dignitaries to our community. It needs to be a decent gateway. What's wrong with investing in it? Those are the infrastructure needs. And you know that Orange Avenue, we've got to widen because as Florida State goes to its southwest campus, that road from the campus there, its sports facilities, over to Southwood, you got to have it. It has become the Tennessee Street of the South Side. That's Orange Avenue. Any time of day, it's bump to bump. I need those. I'm needing your help, your advocacy, your who you harness to say to county and city commissioners, it's okay to drop $1 on the South Side. The equity issue is one which many have misunderstood my voice over the years. I ain't against nobody. I ain't against your side, but I am for my side. And your side should get all the gravy and the grits and the goodies and this and that. And my side is languishing. And as long as I'm standing and can talk, I am saying I want parity. I don't want pie in the sky when I die. I want some Pam where I am. And the people, we want Pam where I am. Thank you for supporting me. I appreciate the leadership that you give to this community. We need y'all to wear your pants, stand up and be clear voices, as I've tried to be for 26 years. And for the next 4, won't be long now, I will do my best to honor you with quality service. Thank you.
It's hard to follow Curtis in any venue. Everybody told us each prepare a 45-minute speech. And I feel a little bad right now because I guess I'm not doing that. police officer in 1990 before as a policeman until I went to medical school. I've come back and I've been a doctor here for 20 years. So I've been serving my community either as a police explorer when I was 14, a policeman or a doctor when I love this town. But I noticed when I would be on in the Southwood and driving down, as you said, Orange Avenue, the way to cover a baseball game, and you're stuck in traffic. I started realizing nothing down here has visually changed. It looks like I was Dr. Evil, frozen for 30 years, and a policeman woke up and it's the same potholes in the same places, in the same boarded up houses. The places where the violent crimes took place when I was a policeman still take place there. First shooting I handled was at 1010 Basin Street. Last week somebody was killed at 1010 Basin Street. 2 months ago someone was shot in the foot while running from assailants at 1010 Basin Street. And about 6 months ago someone was murdered at 1010 Basin Street. And I got frustrated that nothing was being done. I think we all know we've got the highest per capita crime rate in the state. Not many of us know we've got the poorest zip code in the entire state. Not Miami, not Tampa, right here on the Bradford Road. You are not a healthy city with those two monitors. I'm the chairman of the board at John Paul II, the Catholic High School. We've kind of got a mantra that if you want your kid to go here, we'll find a way to pay for it. As a result, we get a lot of Title I children from our impoverished areas that live on Pasco Street, Saxon Street, Keith Street. And when they come to school crying because this is not an exaggeration, crying because the night before they had to move all their siblings to the back of the house because they heard gunshots that were too close. Think about that. He's a mile from the Capitol, and he knows the difference between gunshots that are far enough away to ignore us and gunshots that are close enough to hide your siblings. That's unacceptable. We're a fairly wealthy city. We're not that big. There's no reason we can't fix that. I have another kid that lives near the Providence neighborhood. Turns out he can only afford 2 pairs of clothes. And he can't afford to go to the laundromat once a week. So he's wearing dirty clothes 3 to 4 times out of a 5-day week. And we figured this out and fixed it for him. But again, how is that possible in a city our size? And I'll be honest, Jared came along and I said, that's the guy. He's a small businessman, he's built himself up. He said he's going to fix all that, and I've just been horribly disappointed. He is not working on any of the things that he was talking about. He's not working on poverty. Now, he gets a lot of sound bites, a lot of Facebook quotes, but when you look at the body of work, all he does is fight windmills that look like Risco and I'm not saying those guys don't have skeletons, but a man should know when he's beaten. And when you take 3 years to get someone fired, it hasn't worked. It's time to work on the things you can change. It is time to invest in the south side of Tallahassee, not just because it's the right thing to do, but because it's good business. The businesses that are doing well cannot get better as long as we carry those monitors. We tried to hire an HR guy from the hospital from out of town. He's supposed to be a superstar. He comes to Tallahassee, he loves it, he goes home, his wife said, we're not ever moving to Tallahassee. It's got off the internet, and all it said was how bad the crime was there. We're never moving. That's not a good reputation to have. I've got another friend who does mentoring international, and he's got a mentee in his lump lot. And these two guys are talking on Zoom, and they fell in his lump lot and say, hey, we get together. Why don't we visit each other's hometown? The guy in Tallahassee says, hey, is it safe there? I don't really know where it is lump lot. And the fellow in his lump lot said, I got on the internet, and you were statistically more likely to be shot in Tallahassee than his lump lot. That's not okay. And the people that are in charge are not fixing this. It is holding all of us back. And the one thing I think that people in this room realize, the way you fix poverty, the way you fix crime, the way you fix affordable housing is through good careers. $15 an hour stocking shelves is not a rewarding job, and it's only $31,000 a year. The federal poverty level is $21,000 a year. And the Organization for Women's Health says that your functional poverty level is probably $41,000 a year. To ask someone to stock shelves for all their life to stay barely above poverty is not realistic. We need careers that have opportunity for growth, improvement, promotions, 401ks, pensions. The next time Honda Jet wants to come to Tallahassee and put their factory in the poorest zip code in the entire state, we need to figure out a way to make that happen. I don't like corporate welfare, but it's not welfare, it's an investment. If it put 100 people to work in 32304 with true careers, that's an investment. And I think this crowd gets that that's the way you fix it. Because if you fix poverty, everything else falls in line. So I hope you'll consider me when you go to vote. I understand what it takes to make our city better, and I will focus on it. It is time to start focusing on the things we can change and quit fighting the winners. Thanks a lot, guys. Everybody get 45 minutes.
Last candidate is Christian Cabana for County District 2.
Hey, Christian. So, pretty interesting story. Actually, 40 years ago, the first Grow Tallahassee meeting, I was the first guest speaker. And I remember Justin, where you at, Justin? Over here. Justin called me like an hour before. And he was like, hey, our speaker can't make it last minute. Can you come speak? And I was like, well, what do you want to speak about? He's like, tell your story. It's about a really cool story. And that was in 2018. And I think over the last 4 years, part of my platform is I've added to that story. And it really does tie in to why I want to run as a commissioner in District 2. So I've lived in 32304 zip code since I was in college. And I'm a product of that district, I'm a product of that zip code. And I started working in this building right here at Level 8 in college. And I continued to just work, and put myself in a position to where I can make a name for myself. And for me, I think there needs to be a voice for District 2 and for our community to create the same opportunity for thousands and thousands of other people in our community. We have arguably the best education system in Tallahassee. Florida State University, FAMU, TCC, Live Technical Institute, and our biggest asset, I believe, is keeping people in Tallahassee. And I think you need to have a voice, a fresh voice, that can stand up for small businesses and say, hey, what are we doing to create opportunity to keep those people here? Because in my businesses, I struggle with that every day. And since COVID especially, it's not getting better. I mean, we're seeing all over town, small businesses, restaurants closing because they can't get staff, they can't keep people here. And, I drive on this culture. I've seen it change drastically over the last 10 years, and not in a positive manner. So I think right now, piggybacking off what Chairman Crawford said, is that there's a lot of great investments going on in District 2 right now, with Airport Gateway, Innovation Park, and I believe I'm the best fit as a commissioner to see those projects come to fruition. I've talked to people in the community, they want to see infrastructure come into place. They want to see Orange Avenue, they want to see Highway 20, they want to see it safe for the kids. There's kids, quite frankly, that wait for a bus stop in the morning, pitch black. And there's no street lights, there's no sidewalks, and I really think as a community to change over time, it starts with you. So piggybacking off what David said, is poverty is linked to violent crime, and it starts with you. You need to get them engaged, keep them out of the system, keep them educated, and quite frankly, give them something to work for. So I think I'm the best fit for Leon County Commission District 2 because I'm a fresh voice for the community, and I'm going to stand up for small businesses. So thank you.
Thank you, Christian. Now, I remember Christian when he was working at Level 8 way back in the days. Those were the times that we were going out and hanging out in college times, but I discussed this with my fiance. I call this rooftop index, right? And we go to a city and then we start seeing how many rooftops the city has. And when I say rooftops in places like this, right? And that just tells us what kind of a vibrant environment it has. And when this place first opened up, and I've been here since 2004, we were extremely happy. And City of Tallahassee, we now have a nice lounge and rooftop, and then now we have 3, right? So we are making progress. So my rooftop index is getting better and better. But so I guess the point that I'm trying to make is college graduates every year leave this town because there is not enough to do, or there are no activities, or there's not enough to say social, or I guess some sort of stimulation for them. Most of them also leave that because there is not drainage. We don't have a good paying job. We don't have a large industry. They choose Tampa over Tallahassee. They choose South Florida. They choose to go to other cities, Texas, Austin. Now, why? And again, going back to what Christian said, Florida State, Florida and PCC, we have a massive potential. How come we cannot keep this workforce and this drainage happening each year? Now, Grow Tallahassee was born out of jobs, and I ended up staying in Tallahassee, but all of my friends stayed. So what we are educating for, right, is growing our and eventually creating infrastructure, creating a larger county and city that could accomplish what Christian Proctor and Christian said, helping our community in multiple ways, but also creating new jobs, creating new industries for our college graduates to stay and choose and find better paying jobs. Right? So it's a big chicken and the egg, egg and the chicken situation. I personally feel that it's borderline silly to even for being here advocate for economic development. Right? And we have to create an organization to do something that's common sense. But I think that with all of y'all's help, our organization will continue to push for common sense, economic development policies, and get this town reaching its potential. Thank you for being here. Thank you for yes.
I still want to use all my 45 minutes. 45 minutes to say. Show up. You have 5 of your 7 county commissioners and 3 of your 5 city commissioners. They are nonpartisan NPA until August 23rd. My race will be over on August 24th. I bet only one, if not both, of the other cities can vote in the primary. And everybody can vote. One of the greatest things y'all can do for me is get the word out. Don't show up. What's that? Tell your friends. Tell your friends. NPA, Democrats, Republicans. Show up. That's amazing. Actually, really informed people just assume they can't vote in the primaries.
Again, thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for supporting our mission.
These are
Do we have any more?
One pager.
One pager. Yes, we'll have a one pager out. Action items. I guess it'll come out soon. Just as we're asking about it, but it should be awesome. But again, thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for supporting our mission. And have a my name is Grow Tallahassee, and I'm the chairman of Grow Tallahassee Political Committee. I would like to thank each one of you for being here and supporting our mission tonight. I also would like to send out a special thanks to our host committee for supporting this fundraiser from the beginning. Now, as some of you know, that Grow Tallahassee was created by a small group of young professionals, Justin Yazvini being one,